Hey there, listeners. This is Taffy, back with another episode of a Sex Talk with my very dear friend, Aubrey Pullman. Love her to death. We don't really have any planned conversation today for this. We're just going to kind of see where it goes, like normal. We're going to see just what kind of questions we can come up with and get on into it. So, without further ado, this is going to be a very short intro, so we're just going to get right into it. Aubrey, you want to introduce yourself a little bit for the listeners?
Yeah, like Taffy said, my name is Aubrey. We know each other through school, and I guess also now we, in a way, have worked together.
Yeah.
I don't know, I also have a podcast that I do with a friend of mine called What Are We Talking About?
And I'll have you plug that a little bit more at the end, because that's what podcasters do for each other. Ew, that dab was atrocious.
Oh, you know. I don't know what else to really say about myself. I guess I'm a wannabe actor, voice actor, podcaster, entertainer, really. I do anything in entertainment.
Well, so I wouldn't say you're a wannabe, because you're actively doing all of these things.
Yeah, it's just hard to feel like I'm really doing any of these things with how disconnected everything is right now. Like, I can't do theater in person, and I feel like that means I can't really do theater at
Yeah,
all, because
but before the pandemic, you were
actively
doing everything. So, like, for you and anyone else that's in that situation, because that's where I'm at, you know, we're both about to graduate from the U of A.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with my life after I graduate for the next year, more than likely, but I'm not gonna say that I'm not a stage tech or anything. Like,
No.
I am still a photographer, even if I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I just feel uncertain about the future path my career will take, considering, like, right now we can't plan for auditioning for stage shows, plan for auditioning for film, whatever, you know, like, we're still on uncertain terms, but, I'm excited to be here and see what we talk about.
For sure.
Do you have any questions you, like, want to ask your guests every time? Or
So, I have one main question that I always like to ask just everybody I meet in general, so I want to keep it kind of a running theme here, and that's, what's the wildest thing you've ever done?
The wildest thing I've ever done, like, sexually?
Yes. This is a sex podcast.
Yeah, no, I mean, I figured, I just wanted to clarify. Oh gosh. When I was in high school, and we'll keep everything nameless, for the sake of... well,
nice.
If anybody knew me in high school, they're gonna know who it is, but this is so funny to me. So, my high school significant other and I, we both came from really religious families. And religious families, all about suppressing your sexuality. They just assume you're gonna not have sex ever. Which is ridiculous.
Boy, does that work out.
I mean, yeah, like, I think my parents were aware of the fact that, like, they're teenagers. It's gonna happen eventually, you know, and I waited until I was, like, 18. But, anyways, when I used to come home my freshman year of college,
yeah, I remember
have sex in either of our houses, and I was sick of, like, trying to find a spot in this park near where their parents lived. So I knew there was a empty parking lot behind the place I used to work.
Yes.
And that no one ever came there.
But tonight, you were.
For like, consecutively, for, like, months. Like, that was the spot. We'd just be like, hey, we're gonna meet at the spot.
The only person coming were you two.
Oh, yeah. And I think it'd be hysterical for his uber-conservative Trump sticker van mother to know that he took that van.
Did I meet this person?
And no, you never did.
Okay. I don't remember if I ever met them.
It just became aware that, like, he was not as open sexually as I was, not as open as a person as I was.
Yeah.
just got to that point where it was like, you know.
So,
But I thought it was really funny that, you know.
Were you doing it in the car, or were you doing it? Okay,
they
I didn't know if you just showed up to the parking lot. I was like, okay, outside.
The van, Honda Odyssey, like a big spacious van.
Odyssey.
You can pack those seats down.
Oh, you can pack more than the seats.
Like, I had a comforter that I literally just would keep in the trunk of my car 24/7 for these scenarios.
Did your mom ever ask you what that was for?
I think she probably saw it one time, and I was just like, oh, you know, emergencies. No, I mean, she didn't buy it.
It's not wrong.
Like, it was, yeah. So.
Did you call it a comforter?
Yeah. Because actually, I lost my virginity in my first Toyota Camry. So, that was
how
sad
young were
when
you?
I get rid of that. Like I said, 18. I was 18.
Okay.
It was the same dude. It was very odd, but like I was also I was still on my period because I had gotten an IUD, and you tend to bleed for a while when you have one, and he just really didn't want to wait.
Fair.
And I was like, wow, that's great. That's a good first experience to have.
So you lost your virginity on your period?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, sort of on my period. Like, it wasn't, I mean,
was
like
it
I said, it
towards
was like,
the end?
Yeah. I mean, when you have an IUD, your uterus is just constantly shedding the eggs so that your body can't get pregnant. And I was not trying to be on, you know, that I have to go have a shotgun wedding thing now. Because, you know, those were really popular.
That was going to happen if you got pregnant.
Towns,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's pretty interesting. In terms of wild stuff, I'm gonna start rating these because I've done some wild stuff myself, and I kind of think it would just be interesting, you know?
I mean, yeah, that's not like it's not wild. I just think it's so very obscure to just go to have sex behind the place you used to work for so long and never have been caught.
I would give it a solid middle ground. Like,
I once had
a lower middle ground.
Outdoors around, it's one of those lakes in the Northwest Arkansas area that's got like it's a lake that has a walking trail all around it.
So like all of them.
Yeah, like all of them. And one of my ex-boyfriends took me out there, and
like Lake Fayetteville, or
something like that.
Like
the one on
here?
maybe the one at the end of Weddington.
Lake Weddington.
Maybe. Is that the one that has
it's
the
like,
giant...
there's like... They all have a walking trail, Aubrey.
There's too many... everywhere.
Like, you can go to Devil's Den and there's a walking trail.
Exactly. Oh. We've got kittens trying to attack the phone.
Well, now they're attacking Aubrey, and she's just in love with them.
Oh, we love it.
But...
Well, yeah, so we had sex outdoors on top of some giant rock there. That was really interesting. I'd never done that before.
Fair. I haven't had outdoor sex. Like, well, I think I lost my virginity, and that was technically outdoors, but I've talked about this. I think I talked about this on the first episode.
Yeah.
So...
I'm surprised, though. Like,
I never have women that are interested or open to fucking outdoors, because I'm down. Does not bother me. Your boy is open and ready to go at a moment's notice. It's just up to the women.
As long as it's...
But a lot of my people aren't, like, a lot of the people I end up sleeping with aren't people I continue talking to. It's a lot of hookups for me. So it's like, I don't really have the option...
I had that experience for like a year or so in college, like between my second and third boyfriends, and then I was on Tinder a lot, and I'm just like trying out a lot of different things, a lot of different types of people, and it just it was a lot of times I was like, I would have sex with somebody, and then afterwards I'd be like, I don't think I want to hang out with them again.
Yeah,
like, it just wasn't the vibe.
See,
like, I enjoyed myself, but also, I'm sorry, just not the sexual relation for me. I'm good.
See, my viewpoint for it is like, I'm a big fan of sex first, potential relationship second, because I want to know if there's a sexual chemistry first and foremost, because that's like the biggest thing for me. Like, if I can't do that, I'm just going to end up being unhappy within 6 months, and then we just wasted 6 months. I'd like to know that just right off the bat. 2,
Yeah.
I don't want to spend, and this probably dickish to a lot of people, but like I don't want to spend.
Everybody has different things.
Exactly.
And I think that it like don't judge anybody for the way they want to do their relationships or whatever.
I don't want
Unless
to
they're
waste
abusive.
my time talking to somebody and getting invested, and then they're just like, no, I'm not really interested in having sex. And I'm like, then what the fuck are you talking to me for? Because my Tinder says I'm here to sleep around and have fun.
No, and that's straightforward. And I wish more people were straightforward about, like, this is what I'm looking for. Because when I was on Tinder, that's what I was. Like, I was like, listen, this is what I'm looking for. Like, I will not just agree to sleep with you from a message.
Yeah.
I want to hang out, see how I feel, then maybe I'll sleep with you, maybe I won't.
Yeah, see, and I'm like, I'm totally cool with that, like, as long as the person tells me, but, like, first and foremost, I'm just trying to get it
No,
on.
right, I just feel like a lot of women on these dating apps are not forward enough, and I know it's difficult as a woman
and it can
to
be scary.
Super forward, and yeah, it can be scary to, like,
There's some
meet
douche nozzles
somebody
out
with
there.
that kind of aggression, but I've just found that works the best as a woman.
Yeah.
To just be straightforward and here's what I want, here's what I don't want, here's what I'm cool with, here's what I'm not cool with. Like,
yeah.
You know.
So another portion of this I want to do is I want to see if the people I'm recording with have questions for me. Because, like, I've done some wild shit. I've done a lot of shit. I'm a very open sexually person. I want to see if I can either help the people learn something or see if they just have something that I'd never think of to ask, you know? Like, I don't want this to be a very me-forward, asking you question podcast.
Yeah.
I want it to be like a both of us going in on it kind of thing, you know?
Right. I guess my question is, as a man, do you feel threatened by female ejaculation?
What are we considering female ejaculation? Are we talking squirting or the white shit that comes out? It's not exactly white, and it's not on every woman. But some girls create a very viscous, gooey
And some
liquid.
girls, it's more of a squirt.
And some girls just pee all over you.
Well,
Don't try and tell me squirting isn't pee because it comes straight from the bladder. It's just not pee. I don't know the exact science to it, and we can look it up.
You're saying that it's not pee.
It's pee, but it's not.
No, but you're saying that it's not pee. Okay,
Listen, it comes from the bladder.
Squirting in general, like across the board.
I have had women suffocate me with their squirt before, and it's cool. I'm fine with it. As long as it doesn't taste like pee, I don't have a problem.
Yeah. This was just something I wished I could do. So I wonder how people feel about it, because I've definitely heard people that are like, no, that's gross.
So I'm guessing you also don't make the white shit?
I don't. No, I don't.
No.
I don't, like... Is that something you can, like, learn to do?
Squirting, yes.
Okay.
The white shit, I don't know, because I don't know exactly what it is.
Female ejaculate?
It's like, it's the correct term for it, but also not everybody does it. Squirting, as far as I'm a dude talking to a woman, I can't tell you the exactities, but from the research that I've done and, like, the weird articles I've read, yes, kind of, is the answer to can you teach yourself to squirt. It's an interesting topic. But it's also one of those where it's like, you'll look at one article and be like, absolutely, yes, bitch, here's how you do it in 3 days. And then there's ones like, this is why you'll...
those.
And then there'll be ones where it's, this is why you'll never be able to teach yourself how to squirt, the next article. And then BuzzFeed's over here like, should we be teaching each other to squirt? And I'm like, BuzzFeed, stop.
I guess if I do have one thing for any female listeners, it's that, like, research female orgasms, do your research, do your exploration with yourself.
Oh, God, yeah.
So that you can figure out what it is that makes you tick, makes you come, whatever.
Listen,
because you're not good. Your partner can't do that if you can't do it for yourself. And I feel like that's something that oftentimes is a problem for women. And I don't know, like, I worry there are still women out there that aren't getting what they need.
And as a dude, I also strongly encourage this, because, like, I do not have a vagina. I never will have a vagina in my life. I have had a penis since the day I was born and even before that, because that's how a womb works. But there have been so many situations that would have been so much easier, so much less awkward, and just better all around if the girl would have been like, hey, this is what I like, instead of the girl being like, no, I don't play with myself. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to... How am I supposed to do what you like if you don't know what you like? Like, I've been playing with myself for fucking a decade at the minimum. And I know the perfect sloppy toppy that I need for me to get anything. Like, if I want it done in an instant, I know exactly what to do. Like, I will just switch to my hand.
Hate the choice of words. Like, absolutely.
What, Aubrey? You don't like sloppy toppy?
I don't like that.
I
don't like it being called that.
So because I was just let the cat be. It's fine.
Well, he gonna come in here and fuck the lady cat, and then we're gonna have all these extra kittens. And I mean, my boyfriend already said no to another kitten.
But I heard a few people say sloppy toppy recently, and I was like, I know this is slang and it's kind of out there, but like, it's not my favorite. But it's fun to use. It's like using the word moist.
Yeah.
Nobody likes it, but you can have fun doing it.
I don't mind the word moist. I really don't.
Are there words that you do hate in that, like, category of semi-sexual words?
I guess...
I know a lot of people hate the word coagulate.
I can't see that being used in a sexual situation.
Just wait till your mucous membranes coagulate a viscous secretion.
I don't really like when men refer to their penis as a penis in a sexual situation.
Really?
Like if a dude said to you, suck my penis.
I prefer it.
Right? Really?
My thing is I hate cock. I don't like referring to my penis as a cock.
It's not a great word. There's really no, but like...
I will be like, hey, do you want to suck my dick?
Genitals, yeah.
Do you want to suck my dick? Perfectly fine,
is my
base level.
Word. Yeah.
Or like, hey, will you play with my penis? Like, I'm not gonna say like, will you suck my penis?
Is better.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna be like, hey, will you suck my penis? Because that's
no,
weird.
No, but see what I'm saying? It sounds weird.
But also like, when it comes to a vagina, I had one girl refer to it as her clam, and I was like, bitch, you can leave. Thank you, bye. You tried.
Up on that.
I'm
Sahara
good.
Desert in here, girl.
Whoosh, done.
Why?
What do you refer to your vagina as? Do you have any like weird words? Or just like, hey, this is my pussy.
I think I just usually refer to it as my vagina. Like
Fair.
I yell it just because.
Is that what you say? Hey, my vagina's ready.
I think we shouldn't use his name in this.
Okay, I can bleep
just
that
a
out.
thought.
Fair. I'll bleep it out.
I don't usually have to say anything. It just happens. So I don't know. But that's been interesting because my roommate, his girlfriend has been talking about like he doesn't really know how to go down on a woman because
I was there for that conversation.
Right, he spent a lot of his life being engaged to a man. So, and vaginas, from what I understood when I met him, like when we were like 19, he thought vaginas were terrifying. Like literally said vaginas were terrifying. And when I told her
so many people that think that, and I'm like,
she lost her shit. She was like, really? And I was like, yes, I remember this conversation, which is hilarious that you could be terrified of a vagina, but like a 15-inch
massive horse cock.
Yeah, it doesn't terrify you. And I'm like, okay, alright. Interesting. I mean, like, a vagina's just gonna swallow you, maybe, like... But a penis? That can do some damage to your insides.
Yeah. The girl I'm seeing has said that. It's pretty great. Nothing boosts your ego better than the text that says, hey, it hurts to walk right now. And I'm like, I didn't even do a whole lot. It's like, great.
It's nice sometimes. And sometimes you're like, could I, like, not walk like a cowboy today? Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, do you have any other questions, or? that you've ever been curious about? Or from the male perspective?
We're very open with each other.
I know.
So it's hard to figure out new questions to ask you.
Hey, down. That was to the cat, not Aubrey.
What do you think a solution would be to, like an alternative solution for abstinence-only programs? What do you think the best way to go about sex ed is, I guess?
Fucking teach your kids. It's not gonna kill them. It's literally killing them to not learn about it.
Right, it's an uncomfortable conversation for everybody, but it's better than to have a conversation than to end up with a grandchild.
It's only uncomfortable because you're uncomfortable about it. Kids don't give a fuck. Most of the time. Like, it can be slightly weird. I don't know because I've never had to give the talk to somebody, and I'm not the greatest person to ask about, because my parents never formally gave me the talk. I kind of just discovered mine through porn and Playboy.
Yeah, by the time my parents tried to,
I already knew about it.
My mom tried to have a talk with me, I was like, I understand how all this works, because I was a kid that was super curious and wanted to educate myself, because my schools never talked about sex at all other than that's sinful and we don't do that.
See, my school was like, hey, this is what happens to your body, this is what chlamydia and gonorrhea look like, have fun.
Right, and I could see how this affected my peers and their, how they grew up and came to terms with their sexuality. But I kind of knew that I was more than straight, I knew I was of the gay variety of some kind.
The gay variety?
By the time I was younger. But,
love that.
Being religious, it's so repressed, it takes you a while to get there, which Sophia had talked about too.
Well, so for me, my biggest thing is teach your kids what the proper words for your genitals are at a young age. Yeah. Don't think it's weird for them to say, my penis hurts, or hey, my vagina feels funny, or something, because one, that's gonna make you, whenever you have a daughter or kid with a vagina, once they get of age and start their period, they're not gonna have to come up with some cockamamie scheme as to be like, hey, I'm bleeding from my hoo-ha. They can just be like, hey, I think I started my period.
Right. I think giving it, when I was a kid, we called it our tutu. Yeah. And I think that just placed a lot of shame around, I think as a...
Plus, if something happens...
I understand for, not wanting your kid to be in public being like, my tutu itches! My tutu itches sounds better than, Mom, my vagina itches! But at the same time, you don't want your kid to grow up and feel like their body is...
See, I'm the type of dude that's if my kid was just to be like, hey, my penis itches, or something like that in public, I'm like, fucking scratch it, dude. Why are you making a big deal? Come on, dude.
Yeah. For me, it's just, it's important to teach kids about safe sex, because thinking that kids aren't gonna have sex is ridiculous.
And if it's something you're, just genuinely uncomfortable with, one, figure out a way to work towards being comfortable talking about it. Two, there are books for fucking everything. If you don't have books, you've got YouTube. We've got podcasts. Listen to my podcast, guys. You're listening to it now. Bring it back up. You've got fucking everything so that you don't have to do the work. Someone else did.
Right. There's millions of resources online. I'm sure they have classes people can attend. I don't know about right now, but I'm sure that's a thing that exists. When I was a kid, I was given the American Girl Body book, and my grandpa literally thought it was and I quote, what is this pornography book? Pornography! And I was like, Grandpa, it's just showing how your boobs grow with age, and how you're supposed to put in a tampon and stuff. My mom didn't want to teach me.
So, I got a book, and I think I still have it somewhere. It's my favorite fucking book from my childhood. It's called The Big Book of Boy Stuff. It's this leather-clad, adventurer's guide type book. You open it up, first book is how to make a firecracker out of a ping pong ball and other shit. And then the next one's how to make a crossbow with fucking pins and shit. I had
the one for girls.
Yes. And then, 40 pages in, it's like, hey, this is what happens to your penis at about the age of 15. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then later in it, it's like, this also happens to women, but this is what happens to women. And it teaches you that. And then the next page is like, here's a fun recipe for s'mores. And I'm like, that's beautiful.
The girls' one was more like, here's some cool recipes for lemonade and tea. Here's some witchcraft. here's how to play ghost games with your friend. Like, I feel like it was sending me good witch messages at an early age, and that's why I'm so interested in stuff like that. But, yeah. We didn't have no, mine didn't have that.
Mine just said, it was like, hey, if you get lost in the woods, here's like 50 different things you can do to somewhat survive, and also, here's how your penis works.
Here's what that white stuff is that comes out of your penis.
Don't be afraid unless it's a different color. Which if it's a different color at that age, there are much bigger problems at hand.
Yes, please talk to your doctor.
And a lawyer.
This is our episodic reminder that if you know any great lawyers,
God damn it.
Taffy needs one. We just on hand.
Like, I'm not a bad person.
A good lawyer.
I just need a lawyer.
Speaking of, I have a good. So I've been watching this guy on YouTube. His channel is Your Wet Sock. And
what's his name? The comedian?
Maybe.
I don't know. Is this podcast called like Wet Socks or something?
No, you're thinking Trevor.
Yeah.
No, this is a different guy. His YouTube channel is called Your Wet Sock, and he does a lot of like 90 Day Fiancé videos where he talks about that kind of stuff, but he's also been reviewing reality stars and like celebrities' OnlyFans.
That's great.
He does like a really good overview of it without showing their content. Like, he blurs everything so you can kind of get the general gist of what they're doing, but you don't see anything, so that, you know, you're not getting content you didn't pay for. And he reviews them well. Like, he's called out a lot of people for, like, you have literally no nudity in this content at all, or anything risque, and you're charging people $5 on OnlyFans. You shouldn't even be here. Yeah. Period. And he did a really good video on Bella Thorne's OnlyFans, like, breaking down...
Bella Thorne. Fuck her.
I know. I used to be a really big fan of her just because she directed a porn. I was really excited for everything her and her sister have been doing. They're, like, really...
But then she fucked up.
Right. They were great people before all this, and then she fucked up, and it really makes me mad because there are so many creators that make their living on OnlyFans that deserve the money they get.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, and it's discouraging as a person that, like, would love to do that, to see the platform...
Aubrey, please do it.
...have a problem. Ooh. You know, anyway, so, like, I highly recommend checking out Your Wet Sock and all of his videos, because he's got some good ones. It's just really entertaining to watch him go through and review, like, genuinely review the OnlyFans content with, like, an actual, like, He doesn't mean, like, to be mean. He's just, like,
there's a difference between
people.
Being mean and being truthful.
Like, yeah, he's basically saying, this is not what OnlyFans is for. Stop doing this. And I appreciate that, because it's, like, seeing people post things that it's, like, you can post that on Instagram.
Yeah. Like, you can post this on literally anything. Or do a free OnlyFans. But no, that doesn't make you money. Yeah. Because, like... I recently started up an OnlyFans, and I haven't put a huge amount of effort into it, but I work 40 hours a week at a different job.
Right.
And I'm also much more focused on getting just my photography, you know, popping off than I am of doing an OnlyFans or something like that. Plus, I'm much more interested in finding people to make content with. Like, I don't want to do just solo content. I would like to have, you know, partners and create porn more than just... take nude pictures in front of a mirror or videos and whatnot. Like, not to say that people that do that are any less or anything like that. It's just not my style.
Right. You have the means to create some higher quality content, so why wouldn't you?
That too.
I mean, I understand that. Like, having the... I basically call all of our photo shoots my professional nudes.
Yes,
like,
because they are.
I can't imagine how different I would feel if all of my nudes were just like bathroom selfies.
Yeah. So, along that line, so the girl that I am talking to, like legitimately talking to, she went back home recently and she showed her parents my photography, and like she showed them some of like the stuff that I posted of you on Instagram.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't like full nude or your biddies were out, like they were covered, but her parents are like super conservative, very Catholic religious, Trump supporters. they're not, from what I've gathered, they're not bad people. They're just hella conservative. Like,
They just have questionable morals.
they have questionable morals, but they're not like, they don't hate gay people. They don't hate black people. They understand that the protests need to happen.
Right, as long as you're not hateful, believe whatever.
They're conservative in, like, their money views more so, is what I understand, like, their business practices.
That's usually
And,
about.
but her mom was like, he's really good. Like, these are some great fucking photos. And she was like, does he do senior pictures? And I was like, bitch, what? Let's go!
Oh, yes. See? And I like that because it's something that, I mean, like, my mother is aware of our photography. She's asked me before, like, does your boyfriend know that Taffy takes photos of you? And I'm like, yes, he knows Taffy. He knows him very well. And I know that my boyfriend has had this conversation with his parents before, too, I think. But it's just really interesting because I know that I have other relatives that would completely overreact.
Yeah.
And...
Or friends
But at the
who
same time,
completely
it's like,
overreact.
I'm kind of just sitting here waiting for it to happen so I can be like, why is that a problem? Like...
Guys, it's been 3 years and nothing's happened. We're fine.
In the words of RuPaul, we're all born naked and the rest is drag, so... like, really? I don't know. Like, it's something that I'm really proud of myself for just because I was one of those kids that, like, I was never nude. Like, my sister was the polar opposite way.
I didn't get naked until fucking college.
Oh, my sister would run around the house naked up until the time she was, like, 10.
Bitch, I slept in jeans up until high school.
Oh my god!
I slept in jeans until high school.
Oof!
Yeah. I didn't wear my first pair of shorts until junior high.
My blue light glasses are reacting. It's very interesting.
That's really cool. So, like, that's just fucking... Like, it's a big thing. Also, I'm hella happy to have you, like, in my life. Like, I don't know where my photography would be if I didn't have someone that was like, yeah, that's cool. Let's pour milk all over me and see where it goes.
Oh, yeah. And my roommates thought that was really, really weird. Like, they were like, this is a thing that you guys just did. Like, that doesn't bother you. And
But your roommates thought it was weird?
Oh, yeah. And I was like,
what?
You guys know I love milk. Like, I don't understand why you think that's weird. Also, like, I don't understand why it is weird for friends to consensually throw milk at each other while nude. Like,
or even just bathe
action.
together.
So why does your opinion matter?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like,
because you're the third just friend that I've ever bathed together. I've never actually just bathed with a significant other.
Really?
Yeah, it's not something like I don't count showering. Like I've taken a shower with people.
I've taken like maybe 2-3 baths with a significant other.
But
I
also
grew up like showering and bathing with my friends.
Yeah, I also lived in a dorm for 4 years, so I didn't have a fucking bath to do it in. We had to sneak into the showers. But
yeah, like
also bathing with friends is just nice. It'd be nice if it was like a big communal pool type bathing situation, but like a one-on-one's nice because you just get to exfoliate your pores together and watch each other's bits float because it's funny. But yeah, it's just I don't understand why. Like I get that we're in the Bible Belt and hella conservative, like area. I just don't fucking get why people are so fucking big and upset about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting to see growing up which kids have conformed to the way we were raised and which kids have realized that like
it doesn't matter. You can do what you want.
That's not the way to go.
Yeah.
Like unless you really just want to feel like a ball of stress and suppression.
Yeah. So kind of circling back to one of our topics previously, like at the beginning, this is a question that I feel like you would be able to answer a little bit easier than other people I might ask just because I've known you for so long and you might be able to put it in words that I've been wondering. What does it feel like as a woman or just a person with a vagina in general to get penetrated? Like, what does penetrative sex feel like? Because I know what it feels like as a dude, and it feels pretty cool, but I can't imagine the feeling of something inside me. Like, I've put fingers in my butt and shit. I've done that, but I can't imagine it's anywhere nearly the same.
It's a different sensation than a vagina. Like, I'm not an anal sex person. It's just not my thing. But, like, there have definitely been people I've slept with that tried to slip a finger in, so I'm familiar
Yeah.
with the sensation. I don't know, it's hard to describe, like, it's very... Oh, I don't know, to use words, like, it just feels like, you know...
You won't get it correctly?
Oh, let me think. 1 second.
Because this is something I have wondered for fucking years. Because, like, I've been inside many a vagina. And they're all different. They're all interesting from their own and unique in their own way. But I imagine the feeling... Like, if I were to get a group of women together that I've slept with and be like, hey, what did it feel like to have my specific penis inside of you? I feel like it'd be roughly the same.
Yeah, it does vary too from penis to penis, because not every dick has the same circumference, not every dick has the same length, not every dick has the same curvature. Yeah, like some of them are just straight, some of them bend down, some go up, some go side, you know.
I've seen
so
some
it's
ugly
really
penises
just like
in my life, too.
depends. But like, I don't know how to describe what it feels like to have a penis inside you. It just like...
Because, like, where... I guess, to get a little bit more specific, where does the pleasure come from? Is it, like, the friction? Do you get pleasure from it just being in there? Because sometimes...
No, like, if somebody just, like, put their penis inside me and just, like, sat there like, that wouldn't really do anything for me.
See, I've never wondered, because it feels great to me, because sometimes whenever I'm cuddling...
because girls can control the muscles.
Yeah, but so can dudes. But not to the extent.
Not
but, like,
to the same extent with,
but
like,
I'm talking,
grip.
I'm talking, like, sometimes I'm just cuddling and we're having, like, sex in the cuddle position and I'll just stop and just sit there and I'm like, yeah, this feels really wholesome and nice. It feels like something surrounding my important bits.
Yeah, it's more of the motion and the friction for women and the, like, you know, depending on if you're hitting the G-spot or the deep spot, like,
the A-spot.
The angles as well. Like, for me personally, there are certain angles which... are pleasurable, and there's
everybody's
certain angles
got their
that are just like
preferred position.
Like missionary, yeah, you know.
Yeah. Well, then, what is your favorite position?
I prefer things from behind. Like I like standing up. I like.
Thankfully, you're a tall ass bitch, and that part is easy.
That does pose a problem, though, for individuals that are shorter than me. And it does pose a problem for those who are on the smaller end of dick size.
Fair. See,
so, it can be difficult, but, you know.
My problem is I'm always with smaller girls, for the most part, and if I'm ever doing standing up sex or shower sex, like, I'm in just the weirdest fucking crouch. Like, I am full on squatting to get this going.
That's fair.
And then I feel bad, like, because I don't want them being on their tiptoes, because that's unsafe and hazardous.
Yes.
Whereas if I'm in a squat, it's just me straining my muscles, which isn't that big of a deal. The last thing I want is for them to lose footing and just fucking face plant, because then there goes both of us.
Yeah.
But, like, I've never slept with someone close to my height. I think the tallest, because I'm a 6-foot individual. I think the closest person to my height was 5'10".
Wow.
Maybe 5'11". Nah, 5. There was a good 2 inches.
I'm 5'10", 3/4, so.
Okay, then maybe just a little bit shorter than you. I don't know. There's been so many, you know.
Yeah, I assume you lose track after you get past like 20.
I had a full list up until 35, and then I accidentally deleted it, and I was like, there's no way in hell I'm remembering all these people, and I've just kept the number since then.
Well, hey, at least you remember the number.
Let's see. Anything else that you can think of? Is there anything that's kind of, like, piqued your interest lately? They've kind of wanted to, like, discuss? We can always do a deep dive kind of thing.
No, I think I have just, like, a question to, like, leave off on, really.
Okay.
I saw a TikTok the other day, and the guy said, you know, a lot of sexual kinks come from, like, trauma or repressed stuff. What the fuck had to happen to you that you're into vor?
God damn, are you talking about the vor couch?
Just vor.
So,
Just in general, like.
can you pull it up real quick? Because no, just
No.
the definition. The
She
definition.
says no.
I don't know exactly what the definition of vor is, and I've only seen a couple of things.
Oh, vor is swallowing porn. Like, they're swallowing the entirety of the individual, not, like, just excretion, the entire person.
Is there pornography of this?
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
real people, or is
My-
it anime, like, hentai type shit?
One of my roommates plays a drinking game every year with some of his online friends that is just all about vor porn roulette.
What?
Yeah, and it's basically like whoever can keep their cool the longest kind of wins.
Oh,
And
so it was
whoever
like the time I
just
did that with
can't,
German
like-
dungeon porn.
Yeah, so like they really like to include people like I think they've had Mason do it once,
I
and he
wanna
was like,
do
"Dude,
it.
I got fucked up so fast."
I want to do it because I think I'd be so good at it. Tell him to invite me.
Oh my god, I don't know how long it's been since I've played, but I can figure out what the rules are.
And then, along with that, yeah, a lot of it comes from trauma, but the other biggest thing for developing kinks I have come to find is the fact that your brain does not distinguish on its own the difference between sarcasm and truth. So you could be fucking around and be like, oh yeah, I totally have a piss kink. Or like, yeah, man, I fucking love, like, scat porn. And if you just do it enough, your brain's like, fuck yeah, you do. That sucks. So it could be one of those situations, because
Wow.
I don't know, but I never thought I would have this problem, but now I like sucking on toes.
Oh.
I fucking joked about it for too long, and your brain's like, yeah, you do, you dirty little slut. And I was like,
Oh,
fuck
no.
yeah, I do. And now I have a mommy kink too, but that's a different situation. That one's an old one.
See, I had a nice conversation with my boyfriend the other day where we looked each other in the eyes and said, "I will never suck your toes," and he said, "I won't either." And I was
I've been
like,
able to do it to 2 people. My thing is I have a very specific type of woman whose toes I'm cool with sucking.
I thought you were gonna say a very specific type of toe.
Nope, just a specific type
It's
of
gotta
woman.
be the big toe or nothing.
No, it's generally not generally petite, like an average sized woman, but very skinny. I like my skinny girl toes.
You like some narrow feet.
Yeah, I like my skinny girl toes. It's weird. I don't know why. I'm not happy that I have it, but hey, anytime a girl tells me I can, I'm fucking all over it.
Ooh.
But I also have an older woman kink, like a mommy kink. Like, if I can find a nice woman who's just like, you're mine for the night, and you're gonna listen to me and do what I want, I would just fucking nut right then and there.
You'd nut right then and there, and then that'd be it. She'd be like,
And then
"Go
I'd
home."
wait. Yep, I'd be so sad, and then I'd be like, hey, can I please have another chance? And she'd be like, no, you had your chance.
No.
And I'd be like, well, there goes my life.
Well,
Do you have any? What are your kinks, Aubrey?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not like an uber kinky person. I like
I could have guessed that.
power play. I
So,
personally
like, more of a dominant.
Yeah,
type
like
situation?
I like to have somebody who's dominant. I'm more of a submissive type person. I like aggression. I like general
General
BDSM.
masculinity type situations.
I like bondage. You know, like I've always wanted a sex swing. Like
They're so nice. I bought
I
one.
would love to have.
It's
one.
great. So the one I have, like, attaches to the door frame,
Oh, okay.
and it's not like a full, like, I want the full swing, but I can't afford
I
that
want
shit.
like a full swing in a walk-in closet situation.
Yeah, that's what I want, but I
where
can't
it's
afford
like
that.
Somebody's at your house for a party and they open the wrong door. And
It's like, what the
"Oh,
fuck?
You weren't supposed to see that.
Well, so the one I have, you kind of just put the 2 little knobs on the door, close it, and it holds
Yeah.
itself up with the frame, and then you can kind of just go like that. It's not bad. I would definitely prefer to have the big one. But I also really want a stripper pole, but I don't have any way to afford a house or have a house situation in which I can put stripper pole.
We have the definition of vor. Vor is short for vorophilia, a fetish in which one fantasizes about being eaten alive or eating another creature alive, sometimes known as phagophilia. The
Pronounced with
most
a PH.
common, yeah, very strange. The most common type of vor is soft vor, being swallowed or swallowing whole with no bloodshed. Like just kind of a soft
So these do
situation.
make that noise again.
I
For all you vor
recently
fanatics
saw
out there.
I recently saw some soft vor in Nightmare on Elm Street 3. There's a giant, gooey Freddy head snake thing, and he just vores the girl, like half of her.
I was gonna say, so this is like the situation where people just really want to get swallowed by a snake sexually.
Yeah.
In, like, just the most basic broad terms.
Yeah.
But, of course, there's other, like, things. Because, like, there's this thing on TikTok that's going kind of viral. It's this woman's making a vor couch. And it's just, like, a couch where, like, the middle thing opens up. And she hasn't finished making it, so I don't know exactly what all it's going to be. But it's just a plain leather couch, and you open it up, and there's a hole there.
Well, maybe it's so people can be vored in real life.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Instead of just watching other people get vored. Because, like, I assume if you want to be vored, you'll really never fully feel satiated until you feel like you're being swallowed back into the womb.
Now,
Maybe that's... I don't know, but...
Is vor
tell me.
Something where you want to survive the situation, or do they have a part of it to where you're like, I would love to die?
It depends. Sounds like some of them want to be eaten like bloodily?
Yeah.
Painfully?
Fair. You know, I don't know what kind of... I also can't imagine this is one of those things where you joked about it enough and now you're into it. Because that would be...
That's just really... It's a lot.
That's a dark... Or not dark... That's a deep dive into joking that you'd have to just start on. We're pulling up a furniture vor video on YouTube, so I can't imagine what the fuck this is gonna be.
There's many videos. The eating couch, the blanket monster, killer couch, funny couch commercial for what? For bad cock? Weird. Renee's stuck under a bed. Wow, so some people just want to be vored by their furniture, like Pee-wee's Playhouse situation.
I gotta imagine Pee-wee's Playhouse would be the ultimate vor situation for somebody.
Yeah, no, I assume that most people that watched that growing up... Well, I watched that growing up.
Like, if I was gonna fuck a furniture, it would definitely be the couch on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
The savage sofa.
I wouldn't mind shitting in Pee-wee's toilet. I think that'd be a dominant thing right there.
Oh, yeah. The toilet would like it.
Wah! Oh, my lord. Talking
She's
couch.
gotta be like 12.
Yeah, I feel uncomfortable with this. There's just a baby
no.
doll.
The couch ate a baby?
No, the baby is the lure.
Oh.
No, the baby was a fucking thing for the couch to eat the child. This is not okay. Who let their kid make this? Oh my god, please save this link. I have to attach the link.
Why? Oh, and it burped up her headband.
Her headband. It's just... So it ate the other clothing, but it didn't want the fucking headband?
No.
Remember, kids.
Who did what?
The victim. The savage sofa. Technical staff. These credits.
Conceived and produced by...
The Barge family.
Choices.
Yeah, that's fucking wild. So I think vor is where we're gonna wrap up this podcast here. I think this is a solid place to wrap up. I thoroughly had a fucking fantastic time talking to you.
Yeah.
We're gonna have other podcasts together, as is no shock, because you're one of my favorite people on this earth and one of my best friends, and also the easiest person for me to talk to. So just do you have any few final thoughts, anything you want to like put out there, and then you can plug in your other stuff?
Practice safe sex, get tested, often, especially if you have lots of partners.
Yes.
And teach your kids that safe sex is important because, you know, abstinence only sucks.
Yeah.
That's really it. And then, if you want to hear the podcast that I'm a part of, you can find us anywhere you get your podcasts. What are we talking about? By Mason Bell. And we also have Twitter and Instagram, as well as you can also find me on Instagram, aubrey.ep.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about what your podcast is?
Oh, yeah. What are we talking about? we really talk about anything and everything. The whole point is we get super off topic and talk about lots of different things. We recently posted a special episode where we did talk about one thing the whole time, and
Really?
it was Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors,
Fair.
which is like kind of our intro to spooky season. I would like to do some more horror movies because it's really interesting to get Mason to sit through these and then get him to talk about how it made him feel.
Yeah.
As somebody that I'm excited by everything that happens. So.
Because I was in an episode of their podcast with them, and it truly was just made no sense. Like, we didn't have any specific topic. What did we talk about on our podcast? We went from...
Oh, we talked about murder the time you were on, actually.
Yeah, we talked... Because it was... Aubrey was in the middle of her fucking...
West Memphis 3 discussion.
And was just all over that. And then somehow we translated to the creator and founder of the Prince Albert penis piercing.
Oh, yeah.
We got into that for a little bit. And then through that... we discovered something about like a 1920s steamboat organ orchestra type thing.
Yeah, something. I don't know. There's just literally so much
like,
that we talk about. It's hard to remember.
Don't think about a
when and
topic.
what.
Just enjoy the listen.
Yeah.
And I will obviously put all of this in the description, so it's easier to find. And with that, we will call this Episode 2 of Twisting It with Taffy, a sex talk with Aubrey Pullman. Do you want to say goodbye?
Bye.